Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a closer look at a gesture you might have seen, maybe wondered about, kissing the hand of an Orthodox Christian priest. Now, on the surface, yeah, it looks like simple courtesy, maybe respect. But we've been digging into sources like the deeper meaning of kissing the priest's hand, and, well, there's a lot more to it. Our mission today, to really get into the why, unpack this ancient practice, the history, the theology, the culture behind it all.
Absolutely. It's fascinating how something so seemingly simple, just a physical touch, can hold such deep spiritual weight in Orthodox Christianity.
Right. So much meaning packed in there. Let's peel back those layers.
Okay.
So first off, the sources really stress this. It's way more than just saying hello or being polite. It's described as a profound spiritual act.
Exactly. It's not just manners.
So what's it revealing? What does this kiss tell us about, Orthodox beliefs and how they view the priest?
Well, fundamentally, it's about connection. A really deep connection.
Yeah.
It connects the person, the faithful, to their church, to their faith itself, and, yeah, ultimately to the divine.
Okay, so it's like a physical bridge to something much bigger.
Precisely. It's a tangible thing. You can see it, feel it, but it points to this internal understanding, this sacred reality that's part of everyday life for them.
And this didn't just pop up out of nowhere, did it? I mean, the sources talk about some pretty deep roots.
Oh, yeah. Definitely not random. If you trace it back, you find echoes in the New Testament itself.
Really? How so?
Well, there's the encouragement for believers to greet each other with a holy kiss.
Yeah.
It was a sign of, unity, brotherly love.
Okay, I've heard of that.
So what's interesting is how that general sign of respect over time kind of focused in specifically towards the clergy.
Ah, so it evolved from a general Christian greeting to something specific for priests. Why them and why the hand? That seems very specific.
That's where it gets really theologically rich. Priests in the Orthodox tradition are ordained to serve the holy mysteries.
The sacraments, right, like the Eucharist, baptism.
Exactly. Eucharist, baptism, confession, all of them. Their hands are seen as the instruments, the very tools through which God's grace acts in these sacraments.
Correct.
So when someone kisses the priest's hand, they're not just honoring the man standing there. They're honoring the sacred office he holds. They're acknowledging the divine grace that they believe flows through him, through his hands, when he performs these sacred duties.
Right, so it's reverence for the role, for the sacred function, not worshiping the person. That's a key distinction.
A crucial distinction, yes. It separates reverence for the office from any kind of personality cult. It's about the spiritual channel.
But how does that play out in, daily life? Because the sources suggest the priest's role is often much bigger than just leading services, especially in traditionally Orthodox places.
Oh, absolutely. It extends far beyond the church walls. The priest is often a spiritual guide, a counselor, a teacher, sometimes very much a father figure to the community.
Father figure.
Yeah. So in that context, the kiss takes on even more layers. It's respect for his guidance, maybe gratitude for his help, or even a humble way of asking for his blessing on, everyday concerns. It builds a very personal connection.
That makes sense. So if someone's struggling, they might approach him, and that gesture is part of seeking that spiritual support.
Exactly. Imagine someone facing a tough decision or dealing with grief. They go to their priest, maybe not even during a service, just seeking counsel. Kissing his hand then becomes a way of physically showing their trust in his spiritual role, his connection to God, before they even get advice or a prayer. Very direct, very humble.
Okay, that paints a clearer picture. It's much more relational than just ritual. Let's go a bit deeper theologically, though. You mentioned divine grace in the hands. Is it, literally thought to be in the hands, or is it more symbolic of his function?
It's deeply theological and symbolic, but with a real sense of sacred presence. It's a direct acknowledgement that those hands handle the Holy Eucharist, the body and blood of Christ.
Right, the most sacred elements.
Precisely. Orthodox teaching says that during the sacraments, the priest's hands truly become vessels of divine grace. They perform these incredibly sacred rites, they bestow blessings, they channel what's seen as transformational power during the divine liturgy.
Wow. Vessels of divine grace.
So kissing the hand is like acknowledging that, affirming the reality of God's presence working through the priest in those moments.
That's the much more profound idea than I first grasped. It really elevates the whole understanding of the priesthood. And I think you mentioned this connects to a kind of lineage, too.
Yes, exactly. That's another vital layer. The act also honors what's called the apostolic lineage, meaning the belief in an unbroken spiritual chain passed down through the laying on of hands, starting all the way back with the original apostles and continuing right down to the priests serving today.
An unbroken chain. Wow.
So the kiss isn't just connecting you to your priest. It spiritually links you to this entire ancient tradition stretching back 2,000 years. It affirms your place within that continuous church.
That's quite something, to feel connected to something that vast, that old, just through that simple gesture.
It is. It anchors you in history.
So, beyond the theological weight and the history, what core values does this act really embody for the person doing it?
Well, humility is huge. It's fundamentally seen as an act of humility.
How so?
It's expressing appreciation and reverence, not for the man's personal qualities necessarily, but for the one who serves God in this specific way. It recognizes the immense sacred responsibilities given to him. It's an act that deliberately shifts the focus away from oneself and towards the divine and the person consecrated to serve the divine mysteries.
So it's about recognizing the sacred role someone fills.
Exactly. And there's an awareness in that moment, that you're taking part in something ancient. These hands are part of a lineage ordained to continue the faith, offer the sacraments, guard the teachings. You're participating in that living history.
That's powerful. Does this attitude, this reverence, spill over into life outside the church?
Ideally, yes. The sources suggest it encourages a broader attitude of humility and respect towards all people, recognizing the inherent dignity in everyone.
Ah, so it's not just about the priest.
No, the practice cultivates an inner disposition. Embracing that kind of humility and respect, well, it deepens your own spiritual life, but it also strengthens the whole community. It's living out those core Orthodox values: humility, respect, continuity, love in everyday interactions.
That's a really beautiful outcome, connecting a specific religious act to building a better, more respectful community overall.
It aims for that, definitely.
This tradition has clearly survived for a very, very long time. How has it been kept alive so consistently, and what does it mean culturally today?
Well, it's been passed down meticulously, generation after generation. It forms this tangible, unbroken link between the past and the present.
Like a living thread.
Exactly. When someone kisses the priest's hand today, they're consciously stepping into that long line of believers. It connects them directly back to the apostolic age, which you can imagine provides a strong sense of belonging and stability in a world that changes so fast.
I can see that, a sense of rootedness. And culturally.
Culturally, it's often very significant in Orthodox societies.
Wow.
It goes beyond just the spiritual humility. It becomes a symbol of sort of communal respect. It unites people, rich, poor, educated, uneducated, in this shared expression of honor for those who serve God.
So it reinforces community bonds, too.
Very much so. And I think what's really striking is just how much meaning this ancient practice still holds for people today. It really shows the resilience, the adaptability of the Orthodox faith over millennia. It's not a museum piece. It's alive.
That's a powerful point. A living tradition, adapting but holding on to its core. Okay, so to wrap up our deep dive today, it's crystal clear that kissing the priest's hand in Orthodox Christianity is, well, it's worlds away from just being polite, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's this incredibly dense act, packed with reverence, with faith, with connection to God, connection to this unbroken line of spiritual authority, and connection to a living community of believers stretching across time and cultures.
Amazing how much can be contained in one seemingly simple, ancient gesture. And it really makes you think, doesn't it? It leaves you wondering what other little gestures or customs, maybe in your own life, or things you see in other cultures, what hidden depths might they have? What centuries of meaning and connection might be there if you really did a deep dive? What ancient roots might still be quietly thriving right under the surface of our modern world?